Hi there, and welcome to another episode of On the Go with Joe and
Vicky.
Yay! Vicky and I have a very super special episode for you today.
Yes, we do.
Yes, today's Vicky's birthday! Yay!
And today's Joe's birthday!
So Vicky and I were just talking about the fact that we've never had a friend share our birthday.
Nope.
Let alone a friend who runs.
Right?
And now we get to run together on our birthday.
And it's cold.
It's cold. There's
fallen trees.
yeah, we just had that windstorm that knocked, like, it was almost 500,000 people out of power, and some, like, 100,000 are still without.
They're getting there. They are getting there.
They are getting there. But we want to move because it's cold. Like, we never thought a birthday in the middle of March would be like...
I never knew it was winter until I moved to New York, and then I found out I was a winter baby.
Where are you from?
Well, I grew up in Clarksville, Tennessee. It's not this snowy in March in Clarksville.
Is it snow at all in Clarksville?
Yes, it does.
It does?
It does. Well, yeah, it's Middle Tennessee. So there's the Smoky Mountains that are Eastern Tennessee. So we actually do know what snow is.
Okay, so on TV. No.
It's not on TV.
How long have you lived in the tundra?
Oh my goodness, we've been up here. Well, I moved to New York in 1999 at the end of the year.
Right.
So we've been in the Rochester area for 4 years. 4 years.
So
4 years, because you can see that now.
Everybody's gonna think 2 years.
4 years.
That's great. So you moved here from Tennessee because weather? Anyway.
Well, actually, no, I moved from Tennessee to Texas, and I moved from Texas to here. I found a husband. He's from upstate New York.
Yeah.
Like I say.
Yeah. You just found him. Said, oh, look, there's one. And you
or he found me.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's that thing about love, right?
It
like
is.
you will endure even the worst weather.
Yeah.
But,
even after 16 years, I'm still here.
okay. All right. 16 years?
We've been married for 16 years.
Okay. We have the same birthday, and my wife and I have been together for 16 years.
It's kismet.
It is. It is meant to be. It's meant to be. So, it's cold. So here's what I'd like to do. Normally, here comes the breeze. Okay, running takes care of that. People are like, how can you run in the cold? How can you not? When we get back, I want to, maybe even on the way a little bit, I want to talk a little about like how you started running.
Okay.
And have you always been a runner?
Oh, no.
No?
I started running just before my 40th birthday. On my 40th birthday, I ran my first 4-mile run.
That's awesome.
In just under an hour. Because
That's
that became my
fantastic.
goal. That wasn't the start of the goal, but after my first mile, I'm like, I'm doing this in 15 minutes. I'm going to try and do all of them in 15 minutes. And I did.
That is awesome. Okay, we've got stuff to talk about.
That's running.
That's right. But Vicky and I are going to be on the go. And even though on paper it says we're a year older than we were yesterday, that's not going to stop us.
No.
So let's go warm up, and while everybody's home and they're toasty, wherever it is that you are, and if you're watching on your phone and it's cold, go inside. And we're going to go run and warm up, and then we will meet back here. Okay.
See you soon.
Vicky, let's find a wind blocker, because here,
Let's do
we'll
it.
duck behind us. Here, we'll duck.
Shrubs.
Ah, yes! All right. It's cold.
It's very cold.
It's windy.
It's windy.
What are we going to do?
Well, I think we're going to run.
See? We did just go by a car accident.
Yeah.
And stopped to make sure everyone's okay, and the police got there and everything. So we got a little delayed on our run. So what did we do this? It's March 11th is our birthday.
Yes, it is.
You want to see if we can do 3.11?
Oh, sure. Let's do that. I like that. 311. That works.
I'm putting the camera away.
All right.
It's just going to be you and I in the wind. And we will record at the end because it's hard enough to run, let alone
Right in.
and camera.
I'm with that.
All right, so we 3.11. We've got what, 2.9 left to go.
Something like that.
All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye.
It is 3:11:17. It is. I'm open to saying it's my 46th birthday.
Oh, it's my 43rd.
Woohoo! Okay, no joking. I'm very happy that you're younger than I am. We are about to hit 3.11 for 311. Ready? And woohoo! We did it! Happy birthday, Vicky!
Happy birthday.
All right, let's tell you what. Let's go outside.
again.
Happy birthday.
Along, but basically what had happened was, and here comes
Your
Carter.
friend.
So Carter, you're going to be part of this one because this is not your
totally
channel.
fine.
We're not on your channel right
He's
now.
okay with that.
So we were talking a little bit about starting to run, and that the reason I started this channel, and it evolved. It wasn't even like one day I sat down and said, I'm going to do this channel. It kind of evolved out of a desire to help people see that running might not be what they think it is.
Absolutely.
You were making some really good points that may or may not have gotten recorded. that when we run, like when we were younger, our exposure to running was
horrible.
It was negative and horrible.
It was completely negative. My exposure was starting from elementary school, and it was every year. So I started starting from elementary school, probably from about third or so grade, all the way up to my senior year. It was the idea of once or twice a year, go run your heart out. So, you go run your hardest, run your best. Well, I always wanted to do good in school, so that was, I took it to heart, so I did. And, lungs would feel like they were going to explode, head was going to pop, your heart's just racing, stomach heaving, and sides just splitting. And then there's, and then the legs. Yeah, and then the legs hurt. It's like everything else.
And they're not doing what you're asking them to do.
No, they're rebelling, and that was really what it was every time. And as you come at it, it's like they don't train you. It's like, no, they you think in education, well, regular classes, you teach material, you give kids a chance to
trial and build it.
to learn and to go and to figure things out and to hold on to that knowledge and to build on that knowledge. So it made looking back, now with the knowledge I have, looking back, the idea that do this twice a year.
Or just pick up and be able to run a mile.
Right, and just go, and you should be able to do this, and this is the presidential fitness test. It's insane.
When I was doing the mile, we had to do the mile in school, it literally was, all right, today's the mile, go out to the track and do 4 laps.
Right.
And be done in less than 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And you'd go around 4 times, and as the faster kids finished, they would go sit in the bleachers and watch the rest of us struggle.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
And then at 12 minutes, the PE teacher would blow the whistle and be like, all right, everybody, like wherever you were, you stopped and you went in. And basically it was all the kids who were athletic or who had been running for sport or whatever, watching us watching us fail. And so the result, and I didn't realize it until, I never even remembered that that's how it went down until one day when I was running on that treadmill when I first started running, going, oh, why do I hate running so much? I actually like this.
Right.
So I think it's, while the channel is adult onset runner and being an adult in running, I certainly never ever want to discourage kids from learning how to run the same way. As a matter of fact, I was a coach for Girls on the Run, which is that concept.
I've heard of program.
Yeah, which is that concept of building up and showing them, but also there's a huge component about themselves and their self-worth and stuff like that. And that's been the big thing about running for me, is just what I've learned about myself.
Right, well, and the same for me. I had never envisioned myself as a runner because stereotypically I don't fit. You watch a show like CSI, or NCIS, and the people I show running in the park are not the people who are really running in the park, because the people that they show
the people
on
they
TV,
cast to run in the park who fit a formula.
Right, because if you are really running in the park, you will see me. You'll see Jeff. You'll see us. You'll see us running in parks. Right. You'll see people who are tall and heavy. You will see people who look more like football players than runners. You will see people who are short and stocky. You will see people who are skinny or thin,
and you will see
a variety.
People of different sizes in different places in the finish line too.
Oh, definitely.
Like you'll see people that it's hard to you can't just look at somebody and say, oh, that person will finish at the beginning, or that person or that person runs a 10-minute mile, or that
You'll
person
be wrong.
runs right.
Yeah, if you guess based on what someone looks like, chances are you're going to be wrong, because
if you looked at me, you wouldn't know that I can do a 5.5-minute mile. So I can't. I still can't do a 12-minute mile. I would still fail. Well, I can't say I can't. I've done an under 12-minute mile a couple of times after a lot of training.
Right.
And I would fail the mile at school. I mean, if I gave my all on 1 mile, might I be able to do it under 12? Yeah, but I've been running now for 4.5 years. That concept of what
is a successful runner and what is not. We were saying as well too, like, because we had to stop and walk, that walking is not failure.
No.
It's being a runner doesn't mean that you run the whole time.
Right, and for different people, running means different things. For me, it was very different because I was not planning on being a runner. I loved walking. I would go a few miles and be fine. It wasn't doing it for any particular, race or goal. It was just I like to go for walks, so let's go for a walk. So unfortunately, life occurred, things changed, some stuff in my personal life did not go well. And
Tip and down.
right, so threw me for a loop, and I stopped doing anything that was active. I stopped worrying about what I looked like. I stopped worrying about size. I stopped worrying about health. I wasn't even thinking about health. I was, it's like
Stinks to go through, but I'm glad to see that.
Oh yeah, it's full circle. My dad and I were talking about our family heredity, looking at our genes, and between his side of the family and my mom's side of the family, I decided I'm screwed. So, in the course,
there's parts that you can't do anything about, and then there's parts that you can.
You can. So, having said that, my dad said, "Well, he said you could come and walk the Honolulu Marathon for me." And I looked at him and I said to him, "There's no way," because I just
I would have just heard you could come to Honolulu. That's all I would have heard, and I'd be like, "Sure, Dad, I'll be there." See, this is how I imagine the story going. You should come to the Honolulu Marathon, and you miss the word marathon, and you're like, "Okay, Dad, I'll be there." And then you show up in Honolulu, and Dad's like, "Let's go," and you're like, "I have to run, or I'm not going to be able to finish." Because I have no idea, I didn't know I was going to do this.
Actually, no.
Okay, all right. I'm trying to tell my own story.
Honolulu Marathon, as I mentioned to you earlier, has no cutoff. So it's fantastic. It's great for walkers. But if it takes you, 12 hours, the assumption is going to be you're still going to
finish.
Be
That's awesome.
mobile, and you're still going to do it. So the first time took me.
So that's something that if you are doing races is cutoff times. A lot of people don't think to look at that, and it's important because when they because a cutoff time, even if you can still finish the race, but there's no support. So the water stations shut down, and the finish line gets broken down, and the streets start to open up again and stuff. So it's pretty significant stuff, and it's worth looking into.
So you definitely look at it. If you're walking a marathon, that is less generous. There are fewer marathons that are open to walkers. If you are looking for half marathons, more of those are open to walkers. If you're looking for 5Ks and 10Ks, those
pretty
are
much
definitely
almost all of them are.
The shorter the distance, the more open to slower runners and to walkers races are likely.
And I guess it's something for people to keep in mind.
It definitely is.
Read the fine print. So if you're signing
look
up
for the fine print.
Look for the fine print.
It's not always there.
It's always there. But, and if it's not there, ask.
Before the actual race, I had already decided I needed to find people to do some training with. So I had learned about Fleet Feet because a former boss of mine, when I was training the first time for the marathon, said, "Hey, you need to go to Fleet Feet. They will get you in real shoes." Oh, hey, they have a program called the Winter Warrior Program, which I hate being out in the winter. Okay, I used to. Now I don't care. But I used to hate being out in the winter. And they give you points for going into their different workouts. At some point, somebody gets crowned the Winter Warrior King and Queen if you have enough points. You get to be the number one male and number one female. So I thought, what the heck, this sounds sounds like a way to do it. Well,
motivating. Yeah,
it was motivating. It was open to walkers, not just runners. And I thought, okay, great. Problem was, by the time I got back from Hawaii, the program had already started, so I didn't have the kickoff, I didn't meet anybody, I didn't know any of the rules. So my first time, this guy starts talking, I can't hear him. I'm at the back, trying to see over all these tall people, trying to hear anything. I have no idea what's going on. I'm like, okay, fine. So then they start moving. I'm like, okay, I will, this must be what we're doing. So I start following them, which was great for the first 3 minutes until they got to the sidewalk, and then they started running. I'm like, oh.
And you didn't know where you were.
I didn't know where. And that's when I didn't even have a route slip. So I wear glasses at night in the winter. If they fog over, I can't see the signs.
You're in this crowd, and you are like I have to keep up with them because I don't know where I am.
Right.
I don't know anybody.
Right.
And
I can't see.
And I can't see because my glasses
and
are
I don't
fogged
have
up.
a route slip anyway.
And I don't have a route slip anyway.
Yeah.
So you pretty much, it's like run or
Yes.
it's survival of the fittest. at
Pretty
this point.
much.
You
So-
are in the Hunger Games at this
Right.
point. Okay, I got
So
it.
we're going down, and I'm like, okay, that was interesting. So fortunately, there were enough people who were sort of walking that I could walk a bit, and then I could run a bit, and then I could walk a bit, and then I could run a bit. I was not happy when I was done, but I did get through it. So
Your intention was to walk.
My intention was to walk. So the next time we were at the store, still not a lot of people and no walkers. But then I at least have a route slip. So still not knowing where I am, can't see with glasses the way they are sometimes. I start looking for the little flashing lights on all these runners. And when they started getting far away, I started running. And I would catch up a little bit. I wasn't with them by any stretch of the imagination, but I would stop. I would go back to walking. And then when I saw them getting farther away, I was like, okay, I'm going to run.
So you unintentionally were doing intervals.
I was unintentionally doing intervals. I didn't even know what intervals were. So I was doing that, and then by about the fourth time that I was out there, I think finally somebody started, it was a walker, and I'm like, well, crap, I've been doing this long enough. I might as well keep doing this.
That's
this,
awesome.
folks. So I
And
kept
then you
doing that.
all of a sudden realized you could go farther and longer
Right.
and faster.
They started introducing themselves, and I started making friends and having people who would slow down who were runners so that they could run with me for a little bit at least, and then I would do my walk. So that kept happening. I had made it a goal that I wanted to finish the 3-mile route that they did.
Thank you for sharing your story. And
Well, thanks for letting me share my story.
And at this point, we have some birthday celebrating to do.
Absolutely.
Are
Lots
you
of
doing
birthday.
anything special for your birthday? I mean,
Well-
besides your 3.11
Well, yeah,
walk.
there was that, but I'm also going to the melting pot because I love fondue.
Fondue is good. Well, you enjoy that. I hope that you have a fantastic birthday.
Thank
I
you.
am so excited to have someone to share my birthday with. Yay! Thank you for joining us on our birthday celebration. And remember, you don't have to be a kid to run like one.